He should have cleared the space and pulled away to allow Mbeumo that 1v1.
Mbeumo to offer his left foot to a right-sided United corner. By Gyökeres from the near post. Guess that's something else that Arsenal gained from a 6-foot plenty centre forward, his near post cover at defensive corners. White hurdling Shaw. Saka. Martinelli. Martinelli. Between legs into the arms outside by Ndia. He's again prevented from clearing by Victor Gyökeres. And Simon Hooper's just taking the opportunity to explain to Arsenal's new centre forward that these days he can't do that.
Yeah, I think again it's good refereeing because he's got to get rid of the ball in 8 seconds anyway. So you know, he's stopped the ball getting back into play. He's penalised the play. It kind of helps the referee out as well. But there's no need for Gyökeres to do it, to be honest with you.
Saliba only found Fernandes. Mount. Fabulous ball. Mbeumo. Dalot wide of him. It's Diogo Dalot. Who was offside.
There's no one in the middle. Saliba had a swing at it. It's a great switch of play from Mason Mount, and Mbeumo, who's been United's best attacker in this first part of the game. He waits for that overlap. Yeah, he just gets ahead of Calafiori.
Well, that's what they have up their sleeve. 6'5" of brawny, youthful, aspirational attacking potential. With goals on his CV already, Benjamin Sesko. Mbeumo, Casemiro, Mount, beautifully moved on for Torgu.
He's got no one with him. He's have to go alone.
Fernandes. Mbeumo, well out by White. Saka caged in by Bruno Fernandes. Sidomendi offered a route out. Well, only found touch. Mbeumo. Odegaard wrestled it back. Martinelli benefits. Just a bit much of Odegaard. Alongside Mikel Arteta on the Arsenal bench these days, Gabriel Heinze, once of this parish, 3 years at Manchester United, of course. United's Player of the Year, 2004-05. He was injured for most of the next, which caused Patrice Evra to be bought. And after those 3 years, Heinze moved on to Real Madrid. Bruno Fernandes snapping it again. Torgu! Oh! He's hit that beautifully pure. And it's nicked off the back post.
United's best moments have been when Arsenal's fullbacks have got caught forward. Saliba not really getting across to attend to it, and Dorgu, it's a great strike. Raya is beaten.
He had a very good pre-season, Patrick Dorgu, in the United States, showing real adventure and looking like someone who wants to get onto the front foot for Manchester United. Competition in that position too from Diego Leon. He's on the bench today. The less heralded new names. Mbeumo, hungry for it. Dalot. Mount.
They still look a threat going forward, United. I have to say, Gabriel and Saliba, two outstanding centre-backs for Arsenal. Just a little bit jittery in this first half an hour, not their normal, stable selves.
Casemiro. Shaw.
What we do know about this Arsenal team is though that they are resilient, they can sit in and they can soak up pressure. They're good defensively, not just the back line, but as a complete team.
Nicked by Saka. Taken up by Odegaard. Gyökeres at his shoulder. Victor Gyökeres. Gabriel Martinelli threw a boot at it. And made no contact.
A really good cross from Gyökeres.
Cunha ploughing through the heart of them. This is Matheus Cunha for Manchester United. That was forceful.
Oh, it's really good end to end. Martinelli should have done better at one end, and Cunha just breaks through the entirety of the Arsenal defence, right through the middle of Gabriel and Saliba.
Odegaard. Saka. White. No threat.
Oh, what a run. Just gets on the half turn and goes for it, and he just skips through the midfield and back line. Saliba's after him, which just forces him to take the shot. He's stretching for it in the end.
2 years ago, over the opening weekend, Matheus Cunha was part of a Wolves team. Very unfortunate to be beaten here at Old Trafford. He's a point of difference now, as is Bryan Mbeumo. And Mbeumo sets it back for Matheus Cunha. And lies behind that too.
Yeah, they're a handful, both of them, Cunha and Mbeumo. They're causing problems. You don't often see Saliba and Gabriel unsettled. So United played pretty well. One goalkeeping error, just separating the teams at the moment.
Cunha, out of the reach of Mount. Forward for Arsenal by White. Met by Shaw, back by Odegaard. Saka's looking to shrug Shaw off. Fernandes biting in. Saka's eluded him. De Ligt has repelled it. Odegaard into the air. Casemiro clear. Saliba to start again for the Gunners. Right. Odegaard gliding. Martin Odegaard! pitched inconveniently for Altay, who did well to cling on.
He's just so silky. When he gets played into him in that pocket, he's brilliant to watch. Ødegaard fakes to pass it back into Saka, but takes the shot himself.
He's had more touches of the football for Arsenal than Martin Ødegaard to this point in the game.
Well, if you're Arsenal, that's exactly what you want. He's so smooth. In a game that's been frantic at times, the more they can get him on the ball, the better they will be.
Zubimendi, part of whose role it may be to set Ødegaard and Rice free. Ødegaard looks to set Gyökeres free. He's offside. Gyökeres, of course, a player very familiar to Ruben Amorim, for whom he was stellar at Sporting over a couple of years of total winning success in Lisbon. Shaw. Long diagonal for Dalot. Targetly taken, support from Mbeumo. Mbeumo well watched by Zubimendi, and Ødegaard can turn and go again. Saka and Martinelli for company. It's 3-on-3 here.
Yeah, I didn't think there was enough there from Martinelli and Saka. None of them made real strong runs for Ødegaard.
Fernandes, Dorgu outside of him, Mount through the inside left channel, Cunha forward too. This is Mason Mount. Cunha. Cunha!
What a save. That is a hell of a save. That is one hell of a save.
Samiro flew in when Mbeumo set it. Mount for Fernandes. Cunha. Bruno Fernandes nicked off his toe by White. And away by Saliba. And then Euro entangled with Gyökeres.
Well, Cunha, he gets that shot away and it's right beneath his feet. How he gets down there with his hand and just there, that little touch is absolutely brilliant from the goalkeeper. That is an outstanding save. He can't believe it.
Well, David Raya, of course, had a share in last season's Golden Glove. He made actually heroic late saves to preserve a point here for Arsenal in March. And he has come up with something athletic and elastic to keep Manchester United from equalising here. Zubimendi, White. Ødegaard. Saka. Zubimendi. Ødegaard. Out by Euro. Stolen by Mbeumo. Martinelli got between man and ball. Mbeumo was penalised. Zubimendi. Calafiori. Slipped through for Saka. He kept it alive and won a corner off Patrick Dorgu.
Saka will stay over there and whip it in. Those Arsenal giants make their way forward. Calafiori, Declan Rice, Gabriel Saliba, Gyökeres, Ben White also there, ready to go.
Saka starting his 7th season in Arsenal's first team. He's still just 23. Rice from one side and now Saka from the other for Arsenal. To the near post and Martinelli. Hit by Ødegaard into the crowd. Hit by White through the crowd and out. Monday Night Football returns tomorrow. It's going to be a noisy affair. We return in the Premier League to Ellen Road, which is always bouncy. Everton are the visitors. The programme starts at 6:30, and Gary and Jamie will both be in attendance to round up all the issues of the first weekend. Fury had a fistful of Mbeumo there, and he's bound to be booked.
Yeah, he's just been rolled, Calafiori. I think you made the point maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago, Mike. The next one was going to be a booking, whoever it was from, either end of the pitch.
Yeah, but that's just straightforward. Whether there's no fouls in the game at all, that's just a clear caution. It's just a silly ball back, and there's nothing Simon could have done, to be fair.
In by Fernandes. Cunha couldn't connect. Ødegaard away. Down by Mason Mount. Shifted on by De Ligt. Dorgu's away from White. Saliba is well positioned. Arsenal's near post. Dorgu again.
Yeah, Mason Mount's not played a lot of football for United, but this is one of his best 40 minutes in a red shirt. Front three look lively.
To this point, not without its encouraging signs for refreshed Manchester United, but they trail. Casemiro, Mason Mount, Dorgu, Cunha, Mason Mount on the pivot, and Martin Ødegaard away.
Yeah, it's bright again. The link-up play between Mount and Cunha.
Long crossfield by Mount, welcomed in by Mbeumo. Chasing away from Martinelli. Kept it in, but only for Raya's benefit.
Yeah, I think Ruben Amorim will be happy with how his team have performed. Disappointed they're behind. I think Mikel Arteta the opposite. He'll want his team to play better, but be happy that they're in front.
Gyökeres in another battle with De Ligt, and Gyökeres has won the battle but couldn't slip in. Saka. because of the protection provided by Casemiro.
Yeah, he's shown glimpses, Gyökeres, hasn't he, in that channel when he runs in there, that he's strong, he holds people up, holds people off. He hasn't really had the service. Martinelli and Saka haven't fed him at all in this first half.
Just a minute to add on. Morrow's diagonal seen by White. Subimendi ticking Arsenal over. Ødegaard rolling through for Gyökeres. It's Victor Gyökeres. He's taken a couple of clubs too many. 7 years ago this month, he made his debut for Brighton under Chris Hughton in a League Cup defeat at Southampton. He never played a league game there. Half-time. Arsenal lead, and that is the key to it all. Ricardo Calafiori from right on the line after a Declan Rice corner caused chaos. But through United eyes, it's not all bad. Patrick Dorgu hit a sweet shot against the base of the post. And when Matheus Cunha looked as though he was going to open his Manchester United account, David Raya came up with an extraordinary close range.
we get to run, we get to counter a few times. Just need to be a bit more accurate there, and then we have some good chances to score more.
Yeah, and it's the big opportunity for you, that space on the counter, and secondly, it's part of your job just to calm things down when it gets a bit hectic.
Yeah, it's been a bit too hectic at times. I think so much space is too open. We need to control it a bit better. Without the ball, need to be a bit more compact, and then, yeah, when we get the ball, pick the right moments and be a bit more accurate when we counter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You hear from Martin Ødegaard before he hears from Mikel Arteta at the break. He says a little bit too hectic, but it's made it a really good watch.
It sure has been a thoroughly enjoyable game to watch for everybody. Some really good football, go end-to-end stuff, chances both sides. Really enjoyed it.
One goal the difference, the set piece, Arsenal's first corner of the season. Is it too simplistic, Roy, to say that the goalkeeper Binday just needs to be stronger?
Yeah, of course. All the credit to Arsenal. They're fantastic. They vary it. There's good delivery and they're attacking it. But if you're the goalkeeper, just take control of the 6-yard box. Keepers and defenders complain all the time about people are in my face. Well, you get in their face. The goalkeeper's got to take control of that 6-yard box. Complain all you want. It's good delivery. You either block it, focus on the ball. But the goalkeeper, so be aggressive. I've said it many times for a goalkeeper. Come with violence. Come and be aggressive. That is your area. Take control of it. Arsenal are very good at it. But Man United, weak and soft.
Can they not just cope with Arsenal's superior physicality here?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, Dave. I think if you look at the mismatch with Saliba and Mount, I know Arsenal play a lot of their balls sometimes to the back post. When they've got De Ligt on the back post, really him and Mount should have been switching on that occasion. I think 76% of their crosses coming to the 6-yard box, and you can't allow that to happen in the middle of the goal because it just comes down to strength, and then the goalkeeper is not strong enough. Totally agree with Roy, but I think it could have been avoided if De Ligt is with Saliba rather than Mount, and evidently all the hard work undone.
Yeah, well, United have had their moments, of course, but what's really important in football is the scoreline. And Arsenal doing what they always do, set pieces, nice and solid. United have had nice little moments. And like Ødegaard said there, but Arsenal have had moments, but just been sloppy with that final pass. United obviously have got to be careful, but they're doing okay.
That was a real blow, wasn't it, to Manchester United, because they had started well and they had chances after that. There does seem to be much greater threat about their attack at the start of this season. We'll have a look at one or two of these moments in a bit more detail when we come back. Here at Old Trafford. On our way next.
Sir, we've hacked 21 satellites and now we're
one step closer.
Looking sharper in attack.
They sure were great pressing in the middle of the park. They've been creating a fair few chances, specifically down the right side, but this time it was down on the left. Dorgu, very confident in his quality and pinged one off the post there.
Is the key to it getting the ball forward early from them?
Yeah, and they can break with pace. They've got speed all over the pitch. Guys who can manipulate the ball around the box, and an example of that is here with Cunha. Gets the ball from Mount, and you're thinking there's nowhere to go, but he's turned it around the corner, a nice little trick. And the keeper's got down very well. It might have been nestling in the bottom bin, who knows, but it was a great save.
Looks like a really good save, doesn't it, from David Raya. Benjamin Sesko, still no sign of him. It's Cunha and Mbeumo carrying the United attack so far. How long until we see United's new centre-forward? Gary Neville and Peter Drury.
Well, Dave, there are a few itching for that moment, not least, I'm sure, him. As for Arsenal, well, since they won the title on this ground 23 years ago, they've won just 3 of 23 Premier League visits. All of those 1-0. All 5 of Arsenal's Premier League wins at Old Trafford have been 1-0. Overmars, Wiltor famously, Adebayor, Aubameyang and Trossard. Calafiori, as things stand, is poised to add his name to that list. Those were very, very big games, which for Manchester United hurt. But United have lost just 2 of their last 18 Premier League home games against Arsenal. It's a pretty sturdy record that they'd want to defend here. Much of what they did before half-time was good, but they trailed to this guy, Ricardo Calafiori. Slipped in towards Rice. Leclerc.
It was a really good first half. Martin Ødegaard is someone who's very intelligent, understands the game. He summed it up perfectly that Arsenal need to be better on the counter-attack, get more control of the game, try to stop United's forwards, get a little bit of joy that they got.
Sure. From Dorgu, who had White very tight at his back. With a lead, but with a concern or two. As manager of Arsenal, he's won 7 of 12 games against United. He did also, of course, last season knock Arsenal out of the FA Cup. From De Ligt. Towards Leclerc, but he's there again. To bicep. He has scored actually on the opening day, Victor Gyökeres, in each of his last 4 seasons. 2 for Coventry, 2 for Sporting.
Yeah, it was tough for him when it was getting played into his feet, because United were quite aggressive against him. He was better when he was running down the side of United centre-backs.
Just possessed by Zubimendi. He also did score 2 on debut for Sporting for Ruben Amorim in August of 2023.
You can see now with Arsenal, they've got a real presence up front. Something that they've really lacked.
Casemiro. Dorgu. Or Mount. And Mount again. Steers it fairway wide. Saliba made the sturdy block. Well, it's Kai Havertz who has to sit down because Gyökeres has arrived. Replaced him in last week's friendly against Bilbao and got a goal himself, Kai Havertz, at the end of Gyökeres, Saka. Slipped on for Ødegaard. Shaw swept up behind Saka and then belted it against him. Shaw away. Gabriel on halfway for Arsenal. He's getting up to challenge White. Nice for Calafiori. Zubimendi rattled into Ødegaard.
I think that's why I expected maybe Arsenal to dominate more with Ødegaard, Rice and Zubimendi in there against Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. It's not really materialised yet for them.
Chance that this for Mason Mount could be a season of complete rebirth after so much misfortune. Sure. Mbeumo. Casemiro. Dalot has advanced. Mbeumo. Premier League debut for Brentford against Arsenal, that famous Friday night some years ago. G-Tech on Brentford's big-time bow. The following year, he scored 1 of 4 for Brentford against Manchester United in the second weekend of the season, when Brentford absolutely beat United up in the first half hour. Ødegaard. Now Gyökeres. He's got face-to-face with De Ligt. The ball behind. And you can hear how that's gone down with the Stretford end.
Yeah, sometimes that can happen when the pitch might be a little bit dry. It's quite a hot day. Just get stuck under your feet.
His last game in English club football was a hot day, actually, at a big venue. Championship playoff final at Wembley, Coventry against Luton. A couple of seasons back. To Gyökeres, he took and scored Coventry's second penalty, but they lost. By Gabriel at the back of Cunha. Casemiro's giveaway. Martinelli. Gyökeres struggled it that time, but Shaw nips in. Fiori, that was awkward. Fernandes, Cunha. Mbeumo slipped in towards Bruno Fernandes and clouted away by Gabriel. Bruno Fernandes was arriving a little tardily. Just gets a mild ticking off from Simon Hooper.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think he's entitled to go for that. It's an area of the pitch where if he wins that challenge, it's a big reward, and Gabriel just gets there first.
England bosses here, Andorra and Serbia, the opponents for the national team in September on the way in hopes to World Cup qualifying. Perhaps Mason Mount will be one of those he's having a good look at. Mount hasn't got a cap since the World Cup quarter-final 2022. Change now on Casemiro, who's writhing. In, making contact here, of course, another under the scrutiny of the national coach. And Manchester United plan change here. It's going to be Ahmad, possibly, we understand, for Dalot. That is to be confirmed.
Yeah, that would make sense.
His positional versatility is important in the Amorim system. Wing-back, of course, available to him, and that is the likely case here. Further forward, off the striker, is also within his compass. But Diogo Dalot's work is done. 10 minutes into the second half, and Ahmad gets a warm Old Trafford welcome.
Yeah, job to do for Martinelli going the other way, but maybe an opportunity for him to get some more joy down that side. He's been quite quiet. And will be forward. There should be some space for him.
It's away by Bayindir, worked out for Fernandes, and now Mbeumo is steaming through the middle. Gabriel and he had hold each of the other, and the referee just let it go, and Calafiori walked it away. Shaw. Cunha. Wants to take on Saliba. He's pinned him into the corner quadrant.
Two great battles, Mbeumo and Gabriel, and now Cunha and Saliba, and that's what they've been like, those two United forwards. They've just gone for it against two great defenders. It's a real battle. And this is the first one. It's a great touch by Bruno Fernandes in the pass. It's just a one-on-one race, and strength, the power. Right go at each other. It's good to see. Gyökeres and Calafiori and Ben White in that near post. Very difficult to get it over those three.
Bruno Fernandes. Right, got good distance on his punch. Dorgu. Ahmad for the first time. Fresh and lively. Dorgu beyond him. Mbeumo. Dorgu from the wrong side. Mbeumo. Cunha. Left behind for Dorgu. Deep for Fernandes, who can't reach to keep it in.
Now, Bruno Fernandes has just taken a wicked free kick. We were talking the lads at half-time about Bayindir being stronger, but he's got De Ligt on him. But look at him. That big punch. De Ligt all over him. He makes it his.
Shaw's left Saka in a heap, and Mikel Arteta has objected to that.
I'm not quite sure what Arteta's doing. He just flies into Luke Shaw. They shake hands.
I think in fairness to him, Gary, I think he leapt up to make his point just as Shaw was kind of helter-skelter off the pitch.
It shouldn't be underestimated how important it is, not just for Luke Shaw himself to stay fit, but for Manchester United. He's a fantastic defender when he's fully fit.
Odegaard.
He's off.
Saka. Lent into him and put him on the floor. Saka's feeling a bit ganged up against now. Manchester United need to concern themselves with that. Here's Brown and Burmo. He wanted to slip in at that, who was on a different wavelength. Change coming for Arsenal. Noni Madueke, their league debut in these colours.
They have to change Arsenal because the front three, particularly the wide players, not playing anywhere near well enough in this game.
Saka, Martinelli, trapped by Rice. Fair way over. So what do we have here? We have Kai Havertz, first of all. And that means that Viktor Gyökeres debut lasted a few seconds shy of an hour. He's a long way away from home here, and that reception says as much. Kai Havertz has had to wait his turn, but gets a chunky half hour now. And Gabriel Martinelli yields his position for the first time in a competitive Arsenal shirt to Noni Madueke, the latest of many to make that Chelsea-Arsenal switch.
Go over into that left-hand side. I don't think that's a surprise. Martinelli coming off. I didn't think Gyökeres was doing too badly. It was just some fresh legs.
In by Dorgu. Ahmad. Talk us about that. Dorgu held his ground. Dorgu. Cunha tackles Zubimendi. It's a part of his job description for sure. Scottish United have looked going forward. When are you ready for Šeško, Gary?
I think it'll probably be 10 minutes. Or maybe now.
Yeah, he's just as I asked the question, just returning from a warm-up, so it may be imminent. Ahmad. Fernandes. Mount. Dorgu. Cunha. Mbeumo, taken away by Madueke, taken up here by Havertz, and quite artfully with Rice chugging through the centre forward furrow. It's held up by De Ligt.
Yeah, that's been one of Arsenal's problems on the counter-attack. They've been really poor. And so many opportunities.
Alteration now for Manchester United in midfield and at the top of the formation. Odegaard. Saka. Saka whips it in. Moro sees it out. Enlists the help of Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro. Smartly manoeuvred from Mount. Slung over towards Mbermo. And read okay by Calafiori.
Calafiori. It's just going end to end in this period of the game.
Odegaard for Saka. Saka for Havertz. And Havertz for Noni Madueke. And Declan Rice against Lenny Yoro. Well, this is, for Manchester United, an exciting moment. Casemiro gives way to Ugarte in holding midfield. And up top, here is the giant Slovenian, 22 years old, 6'5" and plenty, Benjamin Šeško. He doesn't have the backstory of Gyökeres. He's 5 years younger than Arsenal's new striker. 13 goals for Leipzig in the Bundesliga last year. 8 in the Champions League as well. And there's lots of him.
United's goal scoring last season was poor. Cunha's gone from central position to the left. Šeško up top.
Hooper's kept a lid on this with 25 minutes still to play. It's a big season opener at Old Trafford. It's hot and it's on edge.
So United just haven't been as dangerous in the second half. No shots on target. And that £200 million that Ruben Amorim has been back with is on the pitch. Up front all at once with 25 minutes to go and he needs a goal.
Between them in league football last season, those top three, the three new acquisitions, got 48 goals. Manchester United got 44. And that has to be the difference. Just more than a quarter of the game to play. Yoro. Šeško kept from it by Rice. Madueke kept it in play, but Ahmad stole it. An exchange with Mbermo. Ahmad. Subimendi against his arm, perhaps, but certainly no intent and at pretty close quarters.
Yeah, he kicked it against his own arm. Totally accidental, nothing he could do about it.
Shaw. Cunha. Dorgu. Forcefully dealt with by Saliba. Madueke. Held up by Ugarte, who is penalised. Madueke, late-ish to pre-season with Arsenal, having been involved, of course, in the Club World Cup with Chelsea. Monday Night Football tomorrow, first of a new season, is from Ellen Road, Leeds United against Everton. Looks promising as a central attraction, and the programme begins, as always, at 6:30. Grealish, of course. Cunha. Scampering away from White. Mateus Cunha. And Brian Mbeumo and Ahmad and Mbeumo and Calafiori stole it clear.
It's brilliant from Cunha. The play in central midfield is outstanding.
Fernandez. Oh, what a try. What a try from Brian Mbeumo.
This little touch, absolutely brilliant. He just pulls away from Ben White, and a really good pass into Mbeumo. Then him and Ahmad just seem to get in each other's way. It's just so many Arsenal bodies. Calafiori, Gabriel, all desperately lunging and just getting touches on it and blocks. And this one's cheeky from Mbeumo.
Canny to dig out a tumbling volley, and the ball kicking up like that. Ben White's feeling the pace. Selected ahead of Jurrien Timber from the outset today. Timber, of course, therefore a natural replacement if required. Mateus Cunha isn't so happy that the game's being punctuated here. He is enjoying United's momentum.
Yeah, he doesn't think that Ben White's injured. He thinks that in a break developing the game.
How can the referee deal with this, Mike?
I think when Ben White's down injured, he wants him from the physio. Well, I've got to treat the player, but what will happen? You have to go up to 30 seconds. There's nothing more you can do. I think at the next IFAB meeting next year, they may have some kind of thing where players are going down, trying to feign injury, goalkeepers going down. So they're trying to penalise someone that way to try and hurry the game up. But whether he's injured or not, once he goes down and wants treatment, there's nothing else the referee can do.
Well, as you saw, there are two alternative fullbacks for Arsenal ready to enter the fray in Lewis Skelly and Timber. And Ben White is certainly trudging towards the touchline. So the Jurrien Timber in his stead.
Yeah, changing to your back four with 20 minutes to go, and Mbeumo and Cunha are wide, and they look really dangerous. A challenge for Timber and for Lewis Skelly. They've got to get into the game right away.
Lewis Skelly, of course, one of last season's breakout stars, who's signed a new contract up to 2030 now. He started in the Premier League until December of last year. Very quickly thereafter, actually, a full England international. Easily done by Zubimendi. Havertz. Outside of him is Timber. He kept his eye on the ball. Got his work done. Just more than a quarter of an hour to dig out at least a point which he might be entitled to feel he and his team deserve. So much talk of culture change at Manchester United, new training ground, new togetherness, a really upbeat pre-season tour. What they would do to maintain that mood with the ball between now and close of business here. Fernandez, Ugarte. De Ligt. Cunha. Dorgu. Mbeumo! What a save, Ryan! Terrific spring by the goalkeeper, Ahmad. Bruno Fernandes, Šeško!
It was a tough one for Sesko, didn't have enough pace on the cross, and Vermos was a better chance. He just comes in off that far side off the Dorgu cross. You just see him there with Lewis Skelly. He's just got the run on him. There's a good shot stopper.
Dorgu's taken a blow to the head now. I don't think Timber meant anything. The referee's going to have to afford him time.
These games when you're in the position that Arsenal are in, and particularly as a defender, you know you've got 20 minutes of real concentration. You spend quite a bit of time looking up at that clock, thinking, how slow is it going? Quite a bit of defending. Gabriel and Saliba have definitely settled down this second half. Did a lot better, the Arsenal centre-back pairing.
Who were separated on more than one occasion last season. Gabriel missed much of the closing action. Saliba was the near ever present. Kivior not in the travelling party this time. Mendy from between the centre halves. Who's played his part at Old Trafford again, as he did last year. Timber for Havertz. Well done by De Ligt, chased up by Ødegaard. Ugati's challenge was allowed to go. Cunha. Drifting away from Havertz. Looking to pick away around Timber, who with Saka's help worked it out. Ødegaard, Timber, Havertz. This weekend, Yuri and Timber played one half on each side for Mikel Arteta in the final pre-season game. Trip to London, Manchester United or Fulham next Sunday afternoon. Will be there. One of the big differences this year, no European football. Plenty of preparation time. Ahmad. Oh, away from Madueke. A cross-gun shot. Be fielded by Raya. Last season, United played 60 games of football. This season, they'd need a couple of monstrous cup runs to reach 50. So preparatory time is on their side. First year without European football since 2014-15. Do have the privilege of the Champions League again, but also the workload. Mbeumo, Ahmad skips away from Madueke. Ahmad, Zubimendi miskicked. Cunha, Shaw. Ahmad has tumbled and appealed and got nothing. There was a VAR check.
Yeah, I think the most important thing there is that Raya was always going to get the ball anyway.
Ugarte, Yoro. Ahmad to worry Lewis Skelly and set it from Burmo, and Ahmad went for the return. Crashed it away.
Yeah, they're getting pinned back, Arsenal. Gabriel's trying to get them up the pitch, really get them out, away from their own box.
Ugarte. Maguire is going to be with us soon for United.
Yeah, this is the Ahmad on at the back post. I don't think that's anything at all.
Yeah, just a good on-field decision. I think he's always falling down, Ahmad at the back post, so right on-field decision and correctly cleared by the VAR.
So Maguire for sure is the change. Defensive on the face of it, although we know that Harry Maguire was responsible for more than one heroic late goal last season. His only one in the Premier League was a 3-2 winner against Ipswich when United were down to 10 men. Got that FA Cup winner against Leicester in stoppage time as well. Well, he was fortunate that there was no offside VAR check, and a couple of thrilling ones in Europe to set alongside those. Well, it's a giveaway by Ugarte to Havertz, and Havertz tried to run through Maguire, who wasn't giving way, and Arsenal have a free kick.
Yeah, he plays it blind, Ugarte, back to what he thinks is a Manchester United centre-back, but just straight to Kai Havertz. I think Maguire just decides, take him early.
So this can be a Martin Ødegaard moment. Declan Rice is part of the committee too. Gabriel has also joined the conversation. Wall of 4 once they've agreed it.
Yeah, United are actually bigger in the left-hand side of the wall as you look at it, so it might be that Rice fancies his chances of going over that near side. And there's a big gap. It looks like Bayandé just going over to check his post, but if he goes back and stands where he was, I'm sure Rice will fancy it.
Thinking Real Madrid. Declan Rice to fiddle it in near post. Corner given.
He's got a nick off the wall. Dorgu.
And that was Declan Rice's last kick of the football. Instead of him, for what remains, it is Mikel Merino, another who you will recall on occasions last season was required to play as the central striker. That won't be his role now.
Yeah, he'll go straight into the box for this corner kick, present a real threat.
Very deep take. Well, was one of those rising for it. Timber's going to get it back. He's been penalised. Manchester United now need to be urgent. Shadows lengthening. Amorim is crouching in them. Many of the numbers look good for United. The one top left doesn't.
Pretty well, and I think you just need to be patient, really. There's probably 10 or 12 minutes to go.
Ahmad. Cunha. Partey.
Last time in the attack, Bruno Fernandes tried to force it and played a long ball over the top. I think you need to work a good position like this.
Mbeumo. Cunha. Held up by Zubimendi, lifted in by De Ligt. It's come to Dorgu. Maguire can keep it rolling. Ugarte. Maguire. Yoro stopped by Saka. Timber through.
Well,
Timber tripped him up.
Yeah, he did really well, Timber. I said he have to get into the game straight away, and he has.
Dorgu's in the book.
Yeah, I mean, you could actually make a point that the two fullbacks that have come on for Arsenal could be the first choice fullbacks for them at certain points in this season. They're excellent.
Almost certainly so, given the number of matches that Arsenal will be playing with a full European campaign ahead. Yellow card is out for David Raya, I think, for presumably delaying the restart. And wasting's a big thing. Goalkeepers are under more pressure than ever, of course, particularly when they are holding the ball. A free kick, a goal kick is a different circumstance. Though even so, Simon Hooper clearly felt he was taking too long.
Yeah, he's had a very good, solid 85 minutes, David Raya.
Lewis Skelly, bullied away by Maguire, back in by Odegaard. Where's Maguire again? Away from Bruno Fernandes. Yoro towards Šeško. He set it back here for Manuel Ugarte.
He just couldn't shoot from there. No, he couldn't shoot from there. And I think most of the Stretford end behind that goal thought the same. Šeško does well, just holding it up, but as it pops it back into midfield, he has to, I think, play Ahmad's to his right and Mbeumo there. That's not his option.
Anxiety begins to show. Manchester United last season, of course, lost more home games than they won. They went the whole of last season without winning consecutive league games. Had they won today here, having beaten Villa on the last day, it would be their first successive win since the first day of last season. Šeško. Bit of acreage ahead of Ahmad. Here's Skelly to engage. Ahmad. Flicked in for De Ligt. Matthijs De Ligt. In goes Maguire, out comes Zubimendi. And then Madueke.
That was really good work from Saliba. I think he makes two really important blocks.
Mbeumo. And Šeško and De Ligt and Dorgu. Anywhere will do for Odegaard. Ugarte. Euro insisted. Ticking into the 90th minute. Bruno Fernandes, Šeško.
A little jittery in the first 20 minutes, Gabriel and Saliba, but here now he just, that first challenge, Cunha asked for a penalty, he's not going to get that, and then that second little just kick away with his right foot is equally as important.
Yeah, no penalty for me. I think as the ball's come in, Cunha's kind of gone towards the defender, foot-on-foot contact, which is fine. Referee's call as per last season, so again a good on-field decision and again confirmed by the VAR.
Now the number on the board is 6. It's a number Old Trafford has appreciated. And Timber was booked while the board was going up then for taking too long over the throw.
Best team in the league at being able to manage games, run the clock down. An experienced unit.
To go away, Odegaard. Havertz. Nicely worked for Martin Odegaard. And Saka lashes it.
It's a block for
It's
De Ligt.
comforted by De Ligt, against whom he goes behind for a corner.
I think in the end, Saka just smashes it against him.
And that keeps Manchester United in it. Saka will take his time to the limit.
Arsenal half committing on this corner. Gabriel staying back. Saliba's gone up.
Odegaard. For Arsenal, keeping the ball wins the game now. Zubimendi. Lewis Skelly.
A lot of hard work in pre-season, working on your corners.
Yeah, like always, we're working a lot on set pieces, and I think we showed it today. Every season, I think we have to improve if possible, and yeah, we have to keep going like that.
How pleased were you even to get the start today? Because you had great moments last season, but it was a bit stop-start. And an example of the depth you've got in this Arsenal squad is those full-back positions where you've got such strong competition.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to compete at higher level, we have to be good in every position. And of course, my teammates are ready to play. So it's not easy to play every game, but of course, this concurrence that we have inside is going to help us and it's going to bring up the level. So we just have to keep going, and hopefully I'm going to play a lot, but if not, there is another teammate who's going to play with me. It's going to be even better.
David, I feel like you always play well here. You certainly did last season. Pick of the saves today, maybe that one from Cunha first half.
The one from Cunha, I think. It was a tough one. I don't know how I saved it, to be honest. It was very, very close to my feet. And but no, delighted to help the team to get the 3 points, and that's the main thing.
Okay, well done. You're the player of the match.
Thank you.
Ricardo, do the honours for us.
Brother.
Thank you. Well played.
Liverpool 4-2, Villa 0-0, Brighton, Fulham 1-1, Sunderland beat West Ham 3-0, Spurs 3-0, beat Burnley, Manchester City 4, Wolves 0, Palace, Chelsea 0-0, Forest 3-1 to Brentford, United lost. Fuck you now. Here we are. Oh, we got Fulham next week, next Sunday. Fulham away. I mean, I'm not gonna say we'll win that, but we'll give you a go. Well, well. Time to bounce. Time to go home. There's nothing to see here. Bergo was pretty poor to be honest. Oh, you can't blame him. He's been played out of position. What is this manager doing? Left Ahmad on the bench. Ahmad on the bench. You know, he came on. He changed the game a little bit, but nothing more. Cunha didn't really do much. He had a couple of chances there. We should be Fulham. Come on, we got to get at least a point. I was expecting a point today or even a win today. But he left the strikers on the bench. He left the striker on the bench. Oilon didn't even get involved any time, any point. I'm out. You just don't know what's gonna happen next. Don't know what's coming next. But anyways, Arsenal. Somebody should snap up Eze straight away, man. Somebody sign Eze from Palace. We need him. Kobe didn't even get a sniff. Kobe didn't get a sniff. What's that all about? Why? Why did you leave Kobe on the bench? Why? You need a goal. You brought in a defender. Arsenal changes were all positive changes. You know, attack, attack, attack. So this is really a positive win for Arsenal. You needed a goal to equalize, and you brought in a defender. Just don't even make sense anymore. Yeah, we dominated the game. Arsenal pretty much let us have the ball, I'll say, and they cared about maintaining the game, maintaining their play. They played their own game. They didn't come after us. They played their own game. And one mistake, the goalkeeper got bullied. Literally, the goalkeeper got bullied out and out by Calafiori and whoever else that was next to him. Um, and they thought Onana was bad. This guy is worse than Onana. They're not strong enough. They're all lazy. See, the same ball came in at Arsenal in the Arsenal defense. But Raya punched that ball on the player next to him. He dominated his surroundings, his box. He commanded his box. Whilst our keeper is just too lazy, man. What's that all about? Bruno continuously and consistently going back into our own box. You know, staying there, defending. You know, you should be you're the number 10 or whatever, false nine. Stay up top. But this, just go back and look at the team he picked for the first half. No striker, no nothing. Messi Mount. Why? Why was Messi Mount playing up top? You don't know. When you have a striker, you've just signed a striker, one of the most expensive strikers in the league, probably. It's a nonsense, man. It's absolutely ridiculous what this guy is doing. I don't rate it. You can rate it all you want. I don't rate this guy. Anyway, we lost this game because we got bullied in the defense. The keeper got bullied, and the defender next to the keeper got bullied. Was it? What was that? Was that Mount that was trying to protect the ball and stop the other player? That's not got the job done, man. Got the job done.
Arteta, they got the job.
With the other teams doing so well over the weekend. Wasn't great the second half. I thought you lacked quality, particularly from Arsenal's point of view. But you take a win on the first day of the season and you move on. Obviously, a home game next week to Leeds. They'll fancy themselves in that match. But overall, I think the game was poor second half. The expectations at United now is so low that even when Gary was talking a commentary, everyone's even comfortable with 1-0 defeat. You know, you've got to do better again.
Does that trouble you?
It does worry me, yeah. Even there was obviously the couple of the new signings, a lot of encouragement with that, and they're getting you up the pitch and there's a bit more power. You think obviously results will improve. It's always tough against Arsenal, but again, no goal, another defeat, first day of the season. So yeah, still problems there with United, and then we see it obviously with the goal in terms of set piece, physicality, determination to get a result. Your goalkeeper really not doing well enough, not being strong enough. So yeah, there's still that worry. I had it before the match. Encouragement from some of the attacking players, but
what was your main worry before the game?
I still think that I suppose what we saw again, not for all the bit of encouragement, hitting the post and keeper making saves. You never felt United had 2 or 3 goals in them, and even Arsenal getting the 1 goal. Obviously, Arsenal. I think that's a worry when I see what Arsenal are doing. You wonder why Arsenal are just coming up short, because they're still happy enough to kind of sit in at 1-0, and then you go, is that the reason you drew so many games last year? You know, if we're comparing them to a Man City or a Liverpool, they're always thinking, let's go and get the second goal. Even on a bad day with Liverpool, you think they'll score 2 or 3 goals. So that's the challenge for Arsenal. But for the first day of the season, obviously their sharpness will improve. Like Saka, Odegaard, Rice, I think there's a lot more to come from them. But of course, you take a win on the first day of the season and a clean sheet.
United had their moments, didn't they? But did you ever feel that Arsenal were vulnerable or they were going to concede?
Yeah, I did. Burma was in some great positions, and you know, if you're thinking he makes the perfect connection on the ball, it's a goal. You know, the keeper made some good saves. They showed a different side to Arsenal that we haven't seen, which is that they were a lot more open in those central areas. They found a lot of joy down the right-hand side with Mbeumo, especially in the first half. And I think all in all, Man United's attack will go away thinking to themselves, on another day I could have left scoring 1 or 2 today. That's how I would have felt. Certainly if I was in Burma, I'd be going to bed thinking, wow, I should have left with 1 today. So I think they're going to take confidence from their performance, Man United, but in the end, the result's all that matters, and Arsenal will leave going to London buzzing with themselves saying, look, we didn't perform to our best today, but we're going on with the 3 points.
As you said, Mike, before the game, if your ultimate goal is to win the title, you have to win here.
Yeah, and they won it, and it wasn't pretty at times, as the guys have said, but it's how much you can dig deep. And I think with Arsenal, what's helped them sort of stay in the fight for the title of the previous seasons, when they get into that low block, they're very difficult to break down. Adding the set pieces and they're a good side. I would just like to see them be a little bit more brave. And I'm not just talking about today, I'm talking
First
about
corner and
previous
they score from the
games
first corner.
as well. But how to start a
First
season,
corner.
to
Their
come to
first
Old
corner of the
Trafford
season and they
and get the
scored.
3 points.
Look
You
at that.
can't
They got
ask for
bullied.
much
Mount
more
got
than that,
bullied.
especially when your players are not
Number
fit at this
7 there.
moment in time.
They got
And
bullied by
probably
Saliba.
predictable the source of the
Pushed
goal
him,
because
pulled
we
his
know
shirt.
Arsenal are so good from set pieces, and here they were, their first corner of this new season, and you saw Manchester United in disarray trying to deal with it.
Yeah, again, good delivery. We know Arsenal are big and strong and they vary it. And it's, but if you stop it where it goes in, where the ball ends up, the goalkeeper, that's your keeper's job. So for all the blocking and the advantage and the goalkeeper, that's his area. He has to be. I always say, yeah, he has to come with violence. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to be almost saying to players, yeah, come in here, come here. I'm happy to deal with it. And you've got to be aggressive. But look, he's not strong enough.
You agree, Daniel, he can do more
Look at
then?
him. He's appealing to the referee. Don't be appealing to the referee. So, lads, look, he's on his heels. If a player comes into your area, you go, yeah, you come in, you invite him, because I'm going to hopefully punch the ball and I'll take you with it. Far too easy. It's like, you wouldn't see it's like schoolboy stuff.
We'd seen it before from Hampton last season against Spurs in the Carabao Cup, so the warning was there.
And that's part of the goalkeeper's
That's
job.
exactly what I
Shot
said.
stopping, but that's
He
about
got
taking
bullied
command
there.
of
He
your
got
area.
completely
And also
bullied.
letting your own
Mount
defenders
got
know,
bullied.
lads, if it
Keeper
does
got
come into
bullied.
this
None of
area
them
where
are straight. Like,
it
what are they training?
came
All
into
that
first
gym
of all,
what they're doing in the
I've
gym.
got it. I've
So,
got it. Listen, if something else happens,
for
we
sure.
react to it.
It's all for
But
the
if that
gram.
comes into me,
All the
I
gym
am
work is
favourite for
bullshit.
it.
There's
I'm going to be
nothing in it.
favourite. He's, 6'2", 6'3", and he ends up on his heels and you're getting bullied. Why don't you bully the other lads? Why don't you come and punch it and go, if you come near me, hey, listen, I'll take your head off as well, it's no problem. But they're all a bit, referee, no, don't look at the referee. Take control of it. It's like a weakness to it, physically and mentally. And especially on an in-swinger, you must know that when it's an in-swinger, it'll always be coming towards me. Out-swinger is slightly different. You think, well, I want to be careful. I don't want to be drawn out to it and getting dragged into bodies. But when it's coming in on top of you, you go, hey, happy days.
By contrast, did we see through David Raya the example of that positive goalkeeper who's going to make sure it doesn't cause him problems because he's going to deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, the conviction in it is there, his experience and
Similar
confidence.
situation, isn't it, really?
But if you look on there, who's he got defending him a little bit more? He's got Gabriel, where on the other side it was Mount. So if you look at the balance between Saliba and Mount at the time, he's getting ragdolled everywhere. I just thought De Ligt could have come inside and Mount could have gone outside. But in terms of the goalkeeper making that decisive decision, it was a really good punch. But if we just look here, Mount and Saliba, it's difficult. I agree with Roy. Bender should have done a lot better.
Saliba
but when
doesn't
you've
do
got
much
bodies
either.
in front of you,
Saliba's not even. He should sleep. But look at the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's not even aware of him. Goalkeeper's on his heels. And now he starts moving. He should be on his toes, bouncing, going, no, you're going to come in here and be a nuisance. Saliba's doing very little to him. Do you know what he's doing? No, but he's lean. He's only leaning into him.
The job of that player in that role there is to protect the goalkeeper so he can come and punch it. There's a lot of chaos going on within that.
This is big boy stuff. You're saying protect him.
But you've got De Ligt.
Yeah, but there's going to be mismatch. If your team, if they've got players, a lot more players bigger than your lads, you're going to be outmatched somewhere.
But not in the centre of
no, but if it comes there,
it's come to the.
But he's only leaning into him. But that's the goalkeeper. You can't babysit a goalkeeper.
I agree with you that the goalkeeper should definitely do better, but I also believe
the last player you wanted there.
Is that, Micah, a little bit to do with the smartness of Arsenal's routine that they sort of eliminate Manchester United's best aerial defenders in that situation?
What they do? Why I believe De Ligt was at the far post, because Arsenal sometimes have all the players start at the front and then go to the back. So they must have thought the ball was going to the back post. That was the reason I believe De Ligt was there. But unfortunately, Rice, we've not talked about Rice's delivery. It's on a sixpence. Absolutely brilliant, where it's in the centre of the goal, and that's where you want your strong centre half to be to help out the goalkeeper.
You say that, right? But they've got Casemiro, a big defensive midfielder, and Euro, who's another centre half. I totally agree with De Ligt being at the back post. Are there best markers on people? Only the manager knows that. What I will say is I've done the role of Saliba in this situation, and it does seem as if he is getting the better of Mount, but I'm not going to say it's Mount's fault, because in the end, when you're on the football pitch, right, what do you want? You want one thing. It's your goalkeeper to come and clear everybody out.
Any question that he's fouled there?
No.
I wouldn't say so.
You know, he should go and play chess then, shouldn't he?
Do you think?
Part of the game we love is obviously physicality of football. We're all getting fed up with fouls, but if a goalkeeper's going to be doing this to the referee, going, like, the Arsenal lads must be looking at this goalkeeper going, there's a weakness. There must be a weakness to that side of his game, obviously.
Or is it? It's today.
You've got a target there. Is there a bigger picture and a bigger picture around goalkeeper right now? Because Onana, we know, has had his injury problems at the start of this season, but has been left out of the squad.
Well, he has come in. We sometimes say it's difficult for a goalkeeper to come in and get up to speed or whatever, but he's had a run of games. He's had a taste of it last year. But we're on about trust and belief. What the players you want to impress the most when you're a footballer, you're on about supporters, is your teammates. Your teammates want to be able to look at your goalkeeper going, if it does come into this neck of the woods, would it be a Schmeichel or all the top goalkeepers going, he's fine, I think it'd be okay. But instead of us going, I'll block him, he's only leaning into him. Yeah, like they must do. Obviously, they go through their own set pieces. We saw before the game, and if a goalkeeper can't deal with that part of the game, well, you are in trouble because we know the importance of set pieces. We saw Forest in their first goal today. Set pieces are deciding huge games. We saw the stats from Arsenal. That's one of the reasons they're competing so well at the top of the table, just alone from their set pieces. So if you're a goalkeeper before the game, if they're doing their chats this morning, the last few days, and you're going through what you have to sort out, and you said to your goalkeeper, if that comes in here, you'd say, your goalkeeper coach would be saying to you, listen, that's on you. And he's not dealing with it, so it's on him.
Let's bring in more reaction. Bruno Fernandes is with Patrick Davison.
Well, Bruno, of course, the result isn't what you wanted, but in terms of the performance, was that a step forward?
No, it's the first game of the season, so we can't speak about step forwards. It's the first one, so I think we made what was asked during the season. We did a lot of good things, but obviously it wasn't enough. We conceded a goal from a set pieces in the first half, and I think from there on, Arsenal didn't add any good chances. They didn't create any good chances. We were defending very well. I think again we created too many chances without scoring. So that's a point we have to look at and make it better next time.
Is that a real positive, though, that the way you were able to limit them and control large portions of the match?
No, obviously. I think in the first half the game was very divided. Obviously, in the second half, Arsenal was defending the result, so it's normal for the teams to drop a little bit more. But I think we controlled well the game. We were very good on the ball, and as I said, we created some chances, but we didn't score. I think that's the main negative of the game for us today.
Is the goal you've conceded a really disappointing one? The way you've given the corner away and then conceding from it when you know that their strength in that area?
No, that's it's part of the game. Corners, obviously, we know that they're very good in set pieces. Obviously, I haven't seen the goal again, but obviously, you know when you touch the goalkeeper when he wants to jump and go for the ball, it's very difficult. It makes it very difficult for him, and unfortunately, Altay couldn't get the ball out of the goal.
Did you get a view on that? Did any sense from you that it was a foul?
No. As I said, I haven't seen the replay, and I was in the first post, so I can't talk about it. But Altay was saying that in the moment he goes to push the ball, he gets a touch. But obviously, we know in the Premier League they don't give much in this type of situations. Even if they had a meeting with us saying that if the players are blocking and not looking at the ball, they will whistle more. But we know that's just a kind of a saying, but not really going to the game.
Did you feel like the new boys that started the game, so Mbeumo and Cunha, added quite a lot of threat to the team, even though obviously no goal to show for it?
Yeah, but they create a lot. They were in the right positions. I think obviously Matheus, when he came as a 10, he was much more dangerous. But even as a striker, he creates some chances. We know they're dangerous. We know they're a threat, and they can help us a lot in that positions on the counters, coming inside with the ball and get them shots. So we're very aware of what they can give to the team. It was a good first impression for them, but I'm pretty sure they will do much better.
Do you have the sense, despite this defeat, I know it's sort of similar to the first question, that this isn't just a repeat of last season. There is some hope that comes out of what you've done in pre-season and what you've done today.
No, obviously we have a big hope for this season, for what we want to achieve, for what we want to do this season. So I think was as I said, obviously losing the game is difficult to look at some positive things, but is there positive things to look about? Defending better on the set pieces is something that we need to look about. Also, scoring goals is something that we need to look at. But as I said, and I really like the reaction of the fans at the end. I really appreciate what they did. The sign of hope that you talk, for me, there was more the sign of hope than what we did on the game.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bruno.
What hope did you see? What fresh hope did you see for Manchester United?
Come on, Roy.
Roy, man. Roy almost fell off the sofa.
It's the first game. Give him a little bit of leeway. They're still getting up to speed. There was definitely positives in Man United's play today. Okay, they didn't get the result that they wanted. Look, I thought Dorgu and Dalot in the first half were outstanding. I thought they took more risk. Normally, Man United played more a low block. I thought it was more in the mid block. They took chances when Dorgu got his chance. Then they bring on Dalot in the second half. He couldn't create as much as he wanted to. But and Burmo was really good in the running in that right-hand channel. I thought there was positives for Man United today.
Daniel, what would you add to that?
I think Cunha today lit the place up. I thought he was the best player for Man United. For me, maybe on the pitch, I think what he was doing is going to bring something different to what Man United. They haven't had something like that where it can get you on the edge of your seat. And I think for me, as he continues to go, he's gonna be a special player for the team. I think in attack they looked really good. They were knocking on the door, like I said before. Raya was answering.
Exactly.
It's football. Sometimes you give
All
your
this
best going forward, and it's not good enough. I think defensively they looked better. They were positive in their defensive actions centrally. You saw the Dorgu chance in the first half where they swarmed in the middle of the park and off they went. And then he was positive going forward and taking a shot. And I think all in all, of course, the result's all that matters. It's football. That's what it's all about, right? You want the 3 points, but if I'm going into that dressing room off the back of last season's performances, I'm thinking to myself, you know what, man? Yeah, we've lost today, but we played Arsenal for one. We've given it our best. Of course, we should.
They drew home with Arsenal last season.
What I'm saying is,
Man United should be capable.
No, they should be capable, but they've also finished. Where in the league? What was it? So we're talking about. We're not talking about head to head. It's a new season, right? If I'm a Manchester United player, I'm going in there thinking we've lost today, I'm absolutely devastated. But in comparison to where we were, there's loads of positives to take away. And the new players don't have that mindset. They're coming in with a fresh mindset thinking, I'm coming to Man United, I'm coming to rip it up. I want to tear this place down. I want to show everybody what I'm all about. And I want to change this club and bring them back to where they were. That's what the new players We'll give you a chance to respond to this, Roy.
Yeah, but I just think that talking about the new signs, they did enjoyed it and they embraced the pressure.
There are positives.
Yeah.
Good.